Is it still a morning minutes if I'm recording it at 5 p.m.? I hope so. Oh, I actually recorded something this morning on my way to the gym, which I gotta admit, having this be an excuse to go to the gym every day is actually, I feel like it's making me more swole. It's pretty nice. I wanted to say thank you to Abby Bay. She sent us this really nice little note, and then these little chainmail keychains. I'm gonna take the blue one. Blue is my favorite color. We got them today. Thank you so much for these. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. It's fun because obviously we get to create mail days for everybody else, but getting mail ourselves is always amazing as well. I wanted to go over real quick just a few things that I think are really important when it comes to starting a brand, starting a movement, starting a community, anything that has to do with actually being an entrepreneur. So I'm gonna go over 3 really quick things for you and then let you eat your dinner in peace. Number 1, be passionate. A lot of times when you're in high school and people are asking, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I feel like it's so hard for us to have an answer to that because we're in high school, right? Like you have no clue what you're trying to do. You're just trying to figure out if they have pizza for lunch in the cafeteria or if it's chicken sandwiches again. For me, when I was in high school, I had no clue what I wanted to do. I didn't want to go to college, and I'll leave that for another vlog later, but I knew that college really wasn't a right fit for me, and I was just kind of floating along. I think it's interesting because people always say, we've actually said it, with Zox quite a bit too, is do what you love. And the reality is that, if you're a dude, you probably like to play video games or play sports or watch sports or whatever. So most of us, when we're younger, we think we're going to be athletes. And then as we get older, we're like, oh, we're probably not quite good enough to make it into the NBA. But, now we got to figure out what's next in our lives. And I think being passionate about what you do doesn't necessarily mean that you have to do specific things that you enjoy doing in your leisure time. It can also mean finding something that is a vehicle to do something that you're passionate about. Zox is a perfect example for me. All the little things that go with it. Creating the experiences, being able to work on designs and work on packaging and all these little things for it. Coming up with what's next for the brand and really like planning things out. So much of what we do is based off of, is it something that we wish existed? Other people can tell that you're passionate about what you're doing. They can tell that you absolutely love it and you have nothing but the best intentions in mind. And it comes off as so incredibly genuine compared to the dial for dollars method, this ideology that if you're not selling, you're not in business, that kind of thing. I get that. You need to make sales, I guess, to keep the lights on. But at the end of the day, I would rather create amazing experiences for people and have things that people get excited about and worry about all the finances later. As long as I can keep a roof over my head and provide for my family, then I'm happy. And it wasn't always that way. I'll be completely honest. When I was younger, before Zox was ever even an idea, that was with different ad agencies and stuff like that I had. It was all about revenue, and I just got sick of it. I think it's tiring. That's the best way to put it. So number 1, stay passionate. Find something that you absolutely love and pursue it. Number 2, be relentless. One of the straps that I still love more than any other is our relentless strap. It's a picture of a mountain on it. Relentless to me was such a huge part of Zox as a whole, because it was something that if we weren't relentless about the things that we were doing, we weren't constantly pushing forward and constantly trying to make things happen, then it would have never grown. I think I always go back to the idea of our first website that we made and just getting so sick of waiting for other people to make it for us that I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna figure out a way to do this myself. I always say I'm a nerd without nerd skills, meaning I don't actually know how to code. I feel kind of I'm a nerdy person. I'm intrigued by it, but I'm just not skilled there. Learning how to make a website for me was incredibly hard, but being relentless and having that relentless drive to see something through, in my opinion, is the only way that you'll be successful. There's so many people, and I kind of talked about this the other day, there's so many people who see the end result and they don't see all the effort that went into it. They see this successful person, they see their lifestyle, they see their cars or their house or these material things, are must be nice. it must be nice to have all that stuff. They got really lucky. And I think it almost is kind of a diss to people who are successful, because the reality is that most of them have not been lucky. It's the relentless person who is working nonstop. They're the ones who see true success. And I think that for new business owners, it's so easy to get in this habit of, I call it the borderline millionaire syndrome. It's where you think that this one deal is going to make or break you. This deal is going to be the thing that puts you on the map. I can think of so many times off the top of my head when we were first starting Zox and stuff like this would come up and we would get so excited about it, and sometimes it would happen, sometimes it wouldn't, but it never was like this, plate shifting, crazy movement for our company that blew it up into like some completely other thing. Like, it's always been slow and steady, and it's the people who are relentless, who are constantly pushing things forward. Number 2, just to reiterate, is be relentless. All right, last one, and I'm trying to do these as quick as possible. I'm sorry I'm kind of going on a rant, but I feel like these are really important facts. Last one, people first. I feel like so many times people are treated like a number, or they're treated like, oh, this was this order number, and this is this person, and this is their like order history and all this stuff. And for us, it's like, that's a person. They're just like me, where they care about being treated well, knowing that somebody's thinking about what's the very best for them and going that extra mile just to make sure that they're happy. I'll leave you guys with this because I feel like this is really important. I blogged about this once before, but I feel like it's so powerful that I wanted to share it here real quick. A financial transaction is one of the most intimate things that can happen between two people, and I'll tell you why. Every day we trade a piece of our lives for money. And this is obviously in the case of work. We're trading hours in the day for an income. And when we spend that money, we're in effect spending a piece of our lives on the things that we're purchasing. And this, I don't know why I had this realization. Maybe I read it in a book. Honestly, I don't remember. But when we first started Zox, that hit me so hard because I could never create something that I would say, hey, this is worth a piece of your life. That's just like weird, right? But what I can do is do the very best I can every single solitary day to make sure that what I'm making is as close to possible as being worth it. And I believe that when you think about a financial transaction that way, and you think about that the person that is ultimately purchasing that product is trading that, it creates such a huge burden almost on you to make sure that what you're creating is just absolutely phenomenal. And I really encourage you guys with that. No matter where you are on your entrepreneurial journey, or even if you're not an entrepreneur and you want to work for somebody else, thinking about the fact that any financial transaction that happens is somebody doing that, it'll give you a whole new insight onto how that person deserves to be treated. And that's not saying like, oh, this person's spending a ton of money, so they deserve to be treated even better because they're trading an even bigger portion of whatever. Like, that's not it at all. It doesn't matter what the amount is. It's the fact that they're saying, like, I believe what you're creating is special enough that I'm willing to trade this for it. To me, that is the ultimate honor. And it's something that we're so incredibly grateful for. So I'll leave you guys with that. I feel like that's like a good amount for today. But sorry that the morning minutes was so late. I apologize, but I hope you appreciated my little tips for entrepreneurs. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.